Ay, pues nada más sé que tengo hueva. Y se oye el perro. A ver, aguanten. Ah, no, sí se oye. Nada más quería ver si se escuchaba, pero no, sí se oye. ¿Qué pedo? Ay, me caí. Ay, por tonto. Ay, ay.
Solidify!
Line down!
The Temple of Wisdom!
Gather!
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
Ya me caí. Malo. Ay, no. Le bajo todo, le dejo acá y así. ¿Necesito checar algo?
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Stabilize!
There's no escape!
Share my knowledge!
Brace yourself! This is gonna hurt! I will have order!
Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion!
I see everything! Hold hands.
Shine down.
Make yourselves at home.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
Order guide you. Solidify.
I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom.
Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape.
Ay, me muero. Ay, me muero. Ay.
Hold hands. Share my knowledge.
Shine down.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt. No touch.
I will have order.
Illusion shattered.
I see everything. Make yourselves at home.
Torn to oblivion. Shine down.
Yep.
¡Hola! ¡Oh, qué pedo! ¿Qué pedo? Esas cosas no me pasan. What the fuck? Ay, vida. No. No manches. Ama. Pero ese electro. Ay, ¿sabes? No sé quién les iba. ¿Así no? Sabe, no sé. Pero tengo que subir así, no me como. No pasa. Se me faltan 20 puntos todavía.
Stabilize.
Hold hands.
Illusion shattered.
Share my knowledge.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
So. Time down.
I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom.
Order guide you.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
A ver. Habilidad, vida, defensa, maestría. Ay, no sé qué me podría servir. No. No sé, por ahí. No. Ay. Gela, ¿estás muerta? Gela. Aguanta, deja checar un mensaje. Ay, Dios. Voy a comprar este equipo. Ahí voy. Ya. Espérate. A ver. No veo las misiones que tengo para hacer, tengo muchas. Encuentro dulce. Es este. Mitología. ¿Qué pido? A ver. Oh, a ver. Ay, me asustó. Córrele, ve a ladrar, Gela. Córrele. Ay, no. A ver. Miren, mamá bichos llegó. Los bichos. Ay. Ay, ahí está. Ay, Dios. ¿Por qué trae? No sé. Sí, olvídalo, no. ver.
Hey, little birdie, don't feel down. Come and perch on my shoulder. Don't be shy. I'll show you around town.
Ay.
Really? No wonder they never pay attention to me. Forget it. I probably shouldn't be anthropomorphizing them anyway.
Sí, pues,
Haven't
cuando
seen you in
quieras.
some time. To which one of the Animo Archon's winds do I owe the honor?
Sí, es el destino, obviamente.
Oh, is this your way of saying that you
Ay,
missed
no,
me?
estoy sintiendo bien gacho.
Since it wasn't meant to be with this little birdie, I'd better leave it alone. Let's take a walk, shall we?
Ay, sí, a donde quieras, no. No. Ay, no. Ay, no, estoy sintiendo
If you're
bien
wondering
gacho.
why I'm here, Jean's been worrying about trade safety recently. I discovered this when I unwittingly burst into her office to save the day. Another job involving long-distance travel falls to me. I suppose it's my own fault for having such a strong sense of duty.
No, está bien, qué bueno. Necesitas vacaciones. También. Ay,
Still, on the bright side, business is now taken care of. And I have unused travel funds, so I was planning to...
ok.
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side. Pray tell, what provokes your unwarranted return to the palace?
¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasó?
A matter of utmost importance, Your Majesty,
Parece que trae una masacre en
such
la
that I
cabeza.
must personally report it to you.
Huh. Outdoor theater. Looks fun.
Ah.
Actually, yes. I saw some guards do a musical performance when I was traveling
Hay
with
que
their
sacarlo
caravan in
de la
Sumeru.
chamba. No hay que preguntarle cosas de trabajo, ¿no?
They were desert dwellers. So are these actors. And I think I actually recognize one of them.
Es que no se le olvida nada.
Come on, let's go watch.
Va. Ay. Ok.
That's enough work for today.
Ay, porque yo estaba a la vuelta. Ay, no. Ay, mira qué bonito se ven juntos. Ay, no.
Your Majesty, not only has God bestowed the throne upon you, but your beloved son, Prince Kubad, has led our brave warriors to victory against Frasyav's army. His men have laid down their arms and fled.
Ok.
Frasyav's brazen ambition is no more. He has bowed his head and now presents to your Majesty an offering of treasures and hostages, as well as a plea for peace.
Armisticio.
My king, this battle has finally restored the dignity of our people. Moreover, with Frasyav's offer of land comes the opportunity to expand our borders, as your Majesty so greatly wishes. His Highness the Prince and I believe this peace settlement will be a great boon to our nation. It is for this reason alone that I have removed my armor and made haste back to our halls from the front lines. My king, what say you to this proposal?
Ah, it's the tale of Prince Kubad. Ever heard this one?
No, me falta un cacho.
Don't worry, I still remember the general plot. Let me fill you in on the background while the king
Sí,
deliberates.
donde quieras, ponme donde quieras.
The main characters are the brilliant Prince Kubad and his war-hungry father, King Kabus. The one talking to the king right now is Gundafar, the prince's tutor. When the prince
ok.
was young, the king was deceived by a malicious rumor that the prince had mistreated his stepmother. He demanded that the prince walk through a blazing fire to prove his innocence.
Como Cuauhtémoc, creo. Sí, no, creo
Miraculously,
que sí.
the prince emerged unscathed, thus proving his innocence. but the seeds of doubt had already been sown in the king's mind.
No me sorprende.
Now uneasy in the presence of his mistrustful father, the prince requested to be sent away to the battlefield where he would fight against Frasiev's army. That's the enemy general we heard them mention just now. This is the part where the prince has won the war and decided to forge a peace with the rival nation. He wrote a letter recommending peace to his father. Oh, it looks like the king's made up his mind. Let's keep watching.
Me suena a que le van a terminar cortando la cabeza al hijo. Ya he visto esta historia en otra parte.
Frasiov lost because he did not have the blessing of God. Our God will always watch over us and punish our enemies. Once the bells of war have begun to toll, they shall not cease until the blood of our enemies fills the land. There can be no victory until the last enemy soldier has fallen. If Kubad still wishes to be my son and hold the intaglio I bestowed upon him as proof of his royal blood, then he must obey my command.
Your Majesty, I must caution that a nation destroyed is not a fallen city writ large. Now, the loss of one city strikes fear into the hearts of our enemies, compelling them to accept defeat and cede land in exchange for peace. If, however, we insist on bringing a whole nation to its knees, then so long as a single person is left standing, they will see us as their sworn enemy, and one day return to us tenfold the pain that we have inflicted on their nation and family. My king, a people is to their nation as wild grass to the open prairie. Though we burn down the whole field and spare not one blade of grass, roots continue to grow unseen beneath the surface. Come the spring, it...
Cease, Gundafar! Your mind grows dull in your old age, filled with naive delusions. We shall have no more need of you on the battlefield. As for my son Kubad, I will summon him back to the capital, so he may be tried by a court-martial.
What are you saying, my noble king? Why must you mistrust your own flesh and blood and sink ever deeper into the blight of hatred? When he was falsely accused, you once doubted his honor and made him walk through a raging fire. Did he not prove himself worthy by emerging unharmed from the flames? Now you would turn me away when I seek only to provide the wisdom of counsel. What is the justification for this?
The justification is that my word, not yours, is the law of the land. Cease and be gone, Gundafar, so you may spend the rest of your days with your wife.
Hoy, que ingue su madre le dijo.
What has become of the king that I served with my life? Fanaticism has robbed him of all reason and wisdom. Peace is surely the most favorable path for our nation, yet he refuses to accept it.
I must think of a way to seize control of the army back from the hands of my wayward son, that they might continue the fight to the end.
Brilliant acting, Darbil.
Darbil?
I saw you approaching us in the middle of the scene. I was worried that my performance would be subpar and you'd think I was just making a fool of myself.
Bueno, a lo mejor sí internamente, pero no así de, me burlo de ti, nah.
Not at all. Far from it. Actually, let me introduce you. This is Darbil, the actor for King Caboose.
Ay, hola, mucho gusto.
When we first got to know each other, he was still a guard for one of the merchant caravans. Seems like he's now made the switch to full-time acting.
Hola, soy su esposa.
Nice to meet you. Any friend of Kaya's is a friend of mine.
No, amigos, no.
To be perfectly honest, I wasn't making all that much as a mercenary. It felt right to me to get away from the danger and live a more stable life.
Okay.
I was already pretty good at telling stories, so I just recruited a few friends and started performing shows all over the country.
Okay.
Full disclosure, we had to put this little stage together using whatever wood and cloth we could borrow. It's really low budget.
Bueno, no pasa nada.
Anyway, we're all good enough at acting to get through the motions, but none of us are any good at coming up with a script. Everything we tried to write just sounded off somehow. So I got a student from the academia to adapt an old story I knew to make it more appealing to our audience. What do you think? Passable?
I could tell that you've had someone tighten up the lines. They turned out very nicely.
Ah, that's good. Well, as you can see, even now, we still don't have much of an audience.
Sure, why not? I don't have anything pressing lined up. And I don't... Tickets for 2, please. How much would that be?
Yo las pago, bebé. Tú no te apures.
There's no need for tickets. You could just get some food from Jafar Tavern. We've worked out an arrangement with them. We've actually found a sponsor for this performance, too. He's not too happy about the poor turnout.
Vamos a beber.
I doubt we'll be able to keep him for the next performance. A real pity. But what can you do, huh?
Darbil Asgar still hasn't shown up for the next scene. We should get his costume and sword out so they'll be ready to go the moment he gets here.
My apologies. I have to get ready for the upcoming scene. I'll see you from the stage.
Chao. Entonces tenemos que ir a beber, ¿no? Ah, mira. ¿Quién es esa? ¿Quién es esa? ¿Por qué? ¿Tú quién eres?
Would you two like to order some food? What can I get you? If you're looking for recommendations, today's special is the tandoori roast chicken.
Ah, bear with us a moment. We're just going to take a look at the menu.
Ajá, sí, yo también tengo interés. Ajá.
I was at Port Ormos discussing some business opportunities, and some crook was trying to pull a fast one on me. Darbil took pity on me and politely asked him to make himself scarce.
Engañarlo a él, nah, no se puede.
He's a good guy. A decent storyteller, too. Quite an interesting character. There's a lot of fun to be had if you hang around interesting people doing interesting things. Especially if you're in the company of an interesting friend. That's my secret formula for staying in a good mood. Try it out sometime. You'll see what I mean. Thanks for waiting. We're ready to order now.
Sí, es que me pierdo.
We'll take you up on that tandoori roast chicken. And let's throw in some desserts, too. One each of the rose custard, that talumba, and the patisara pudding, please. That should see us through the show.
Ok. Ay, voy a comer con él, qué bonito. Ah. Ay, ¿dónde está? ¿No puedo sentar a un lado? ¿Sí? ¿Sí puedo? A ver. Ah, sentarme.
We've got good seats, close to the stage, but also not too crowded.
Sorry.
We can watch the show as we eat. If I remember correctly, the next scene should focus on the prince.
Okay.
But I won't spoil it for you. You have to experience it for yourself.
Sí.
You could say
buena.
that.
Se me hace
It's always
conocida.
stayed with me because it's hammered home a cruel but realistic truth.
A lo mejor es que, bueno, la historia que están relatando se parece mucho a una historia. Bueno, pues que se supone que van a mandar a hablarle al príncipe, bueno, sí. Y pues los van a... Ay, ya me hice bolas. Ay, ¿cómo se dice? Que se me traba la lengua. Bueno, lo van a juzgar por traición, yo creo, a lo mejor. Bueno, sabe, a lo mejor, no sé, me suena a otomanos y a esa onda. A lo mejor, quién sabe.
People do not choose where and when to be born, yet the circumstances of their birth define the choices that they will have for the rest of their life.
Here you are. The check's on the table, too. Just call me over when you're ready to settle
Yo
up.
pago.
No need. I'll pay up front.
No, yo pago.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Oh, but this is too generous.
¿Eh?
Call it a token of my gratitude for the excellent service. The food all smells wonderful, too.
La morra.
So please pass my compliments to the chef.
Thank you so much, sir.
Let's dig in, traveler.
Ay, sí. Ay, no, estoy sintiendo bien gacha, no, auxilio.
Hey, Kaya. I'm so sorry. but the actor who plays the prince has run into some difficulties and won't be able to make it.
Él, obviamente. Ajá.
We can't do the rest of the show without him, so I'm really, really sorry, but we'll have to call the show right here.
Un sustituto. Yo lo propongo a él. Ajá, sí, ajá, obviamente.
Ooh, that would be fun. I wouldn't say no.
Yo no estoy bromeando, no, sí.
Darbil, would you lose any income if I were to mess this up?
Nah, no creo. Vas a traer más gente. Y yo pongo dinero así, mira.
Not really. I mean, there's not much of an audience here anyway. I wouldn't want to take too much of your time, though.
El vato se está haciendo tarugo. Lo mandaron a checar comercio internacional y dijo, ay, vamos a ver una obra y nos estamos haciendo patos y no estamos haciendo nada.
Ah, don't worry about that. I like to be spontaneous now and then. Spice things up a little.
¿Qué cosa?
Let me think. Well, you already know the story, so you just need to memorize a few lines. You know... wait, but Kubot has a specific costume he's supposed to wear, and there's no way you'd fit into it.
Mientras yo lo veo disfrazado de estar todo bien.
Switching actors is one thing, but wearing street clothes on stage would really ruin the immersion. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
Well, good thing that I've actually got a costume with me. It goes pretty well with your stage, too.
You're kidding. Can you show it to me?
Sí, el que tiene de bandido.
Sure. If you can show me the way to your changing room.
Aquí es el probador, aquí enfrente.
It's in the restaurant. Follow me.
En lugar de que... Bueno, no voy a decir nada. Mejor, no. Ay, Dios mío. Ay, no. Jamás. Ay, no, es también yo. Es neta y me lo tienen que enfocar así. Ay, Dios, no. Ay, Dios.
Gotta say, I think I actually look pretty dapper in this. It's a pity I don't have many opportunities to wear it in public.
Poco creí, no sabías que eras tan... No, le sienta muy bien, obviamente.
Not a fan of me as a prince? I'll have to act my heart out so you'll be too dazzled to make any digs.
Yo estoy así con la boca abierta, no manches. Ay, no. Es que, ay, ese skin le queda tan bien. Ay, no.
Kaya, here's your script for the next scene. It's not too long, but you also don't have very long to prepare. Do you think you can memorize your lines in time?
Obviamente es un excelente actor.
Only one way to find out.
Se lo va a aprender en fan. Okay.
Okay, I think we've covered all your lines and movements on stage. You haven't had long to prepare, so don't worry about forgetting your lines. We'll remind you.
Soy capaz de estarme regresando a la parte donde aparece con el vestuario nada más para verlo, el enfoque y que se ve desde atrás y las piernas. Y... Ay, no.
All right, I'm good to go.
Great. Then let's get this show on the road.
A ver. Me interesa la opinión de esta tipa.
Just give me a shout if you need...
Ah, bueno. ¿Y por qué está hasta adelante esa tipa?
General Kubot, son of Kabus, the fate of this battle is clear.
¿Por qué tiene esa espada tan fea? Bueno, no es mala espada, pero está muy fea.
I beg you, please spare my few remaining men. They no longer have the strength to fight back.
Frasiav, though you now lead only the husk of a once mighty army, I have no desire to crush your dignity. Even your most savage warriors have no desire to see further bloodshed, and none among your ranks have opposed these peace talks.
Ay, Dios.
Nevertheless, I must hear it from you one final time. General Frasiav, do you agree to sign a treaty in good faith and commit from this day forth to peace between our nations?
Ay, sí. Ay, no, estoy sintiendo bien gacho. No.
With my army in ruins, I am in no position to do otherwise. But on this, I give you my word. Yes, let us end our hostilities and send our surviving men home to their families.
We share the desire to lay down our arms for good and liberate our hearts from the dirge of hatred.
Es tan buen actor. No puede ser. O sea, no sé, es que aparte me encanta la voz que tiene en el doblaje en inglés de Kaija y es muy buena, no sé, o sea, no le queda muy bien.
Then as God above is our witness, by the authority vested in me by this intaglio of King Caboose, I hereby declare that I will spare your hostages and what remains of your army. May peace be restored to this land, and may these fields of war become a place where crops grow aplenty. My tutor, Gundafar, has already made haste to my father, the king, with the recommendation of a truce. It is my sincere hope that he will see that peace as a path to prosperity and grant me his blessing.
Prince Kubad, your name is renowned throughout your land and ours. I will place my hope in your words.
Me da risa porque técnicamente Kaija sí tiene sangre real. Y pues así, ¿no? O sea, está actuando de príncipe y digamos que sí tiene sangre real y así. Ay, no.
One will find on a battlefield no master of ceremonies, nor the paper on which a treaty may be signed. In their absence, let us raise our weapons and swear an oath. I, Kubad, son of Caboose, hereby pledge protection to you and all of your kin. May the oceans be stained red with my blood if I am ever to renounce this oath.
Wow, your friend is so dreamy.
Ay,
He's not
Dios.
a real prince by any chance, is he?
Sí, sí es, pero no lo veas, no, aléjate. Gata rompió hogares.
Rashana,
No.
you don't want to miss this. The
Ay,
good-looking guy
no.
who left that huge
Ay,
tip
no.
is acting on stage with Darbel's troupe.
No, no lo veas, no.
Darbel's one lucky man.
Ya sabía, es obvio, es obvio.
I return, Your
Es
Highness.
guapísimo.
I hope I'm not too late. Have you already promised peace to Frasyov?
Nay, I am not so rash as to preempt my father's blessing. I promised only what I could so far, the safety of his kin.
My child, I must share with you the gravest news. Caboose
Sí,
has
ya
become
mandó
blinded
casi
by
a
fanaticism
ejecutarte.
and hatred, and will stop at nothing to vanquish every last man under Frasyov's lead.
How can this be? You mean to say that my father has rejected our proposal for peace?
Ajá.
He has indeed. I urged him to reconsider, and for this I was rebuked and dismissed from his service.
Ay, no,
But
le van
far
a
stricter
pasar- le va a pasar lo
punishment
mismo
than
que al
this
príncipe
awaits
Mustafa.
you, should you return home with your troops. Please heed my warnings, dear child. I dare not imagine what unspeakable atrocities your father intends to commit.
Nay, the truce must stand. I cannot renounce my oath. How can man claim to stand above beast without remaining true
Ay,
to
el
his
ojito.
word? The masses have grown weary of death and conflict in both our nation and theirs. Are we all now to bend to his will and massacre countless more to satisfy a desire that is his alone? When I departed my
Derrócalo.
beloved home to fight in a foreign land, I did so to honor his wishes and for my duty to our people.
Qué casualidad, eso es técnicamente lo mismo que le pasó a él. O sea, su papá lo abandonó por, pues, digamos que lo dejó en otra tierra. Nada más por el capricho de su papá. Y el deber que también tiene disque con su pueblo, en teoría, según, entre comillas, pero sabe.
Alas, is this fate's grand design? Is this
Ay, se le
fate's
olvidó.
grand design?
Kaya, the next line is, alas, is this fate's grand design, that I should spend the rest of my days
Es
in a
lo mismo
foreign
que le
land,
pasa.
till I am laid to rest in a grave far from home?
Must it be so?
No lo escucha.
Wait, that's not part of the script.
Kaya, did you not
Ah,
hear
va a
me?
improvisar. Va a improvisar, va a improvisar. Sí,
My
sí, sí.
dear audience, I ask you this. Do you believe in fate? If fate decreed that your life was to end in tragedy, what would you do?
¿Qué es eso? Que me lance otra cosa también. Sí, ya sé. No comienza a reír al destino y lo cambiaría,
Oh.
obviamente.
Then so must it be. Yes, so must it be.
Obviamente.
I shall discard this intaglio and rid myself of the shackles of fate.
Ahí va a
Wait,
cambiar
but
la
that's
historia.
not... My dear prince, do you intend to betray your father and abandon your heritage?
Necesita ser libre.
Fate means to send the machinations of war to every corner of the land, to fan the flames of conflict till they engulf the entire world.
Eso es lo que va a pasar.
Fate would see
¿Estás
my
spoileando?
sword tainted with the blood of innocence. That the bright banner of my homeland might fly in every nation known to mankind.
¿Me estás spoileando
But
de lo que
I
va a
shall
pasar?
not bow to the will of fate. I am no pawn in heaven's plan.
Bravo! Where did this guy come from? Is he one of the new hires?
¿Qué pedo?
Shut up. Stop interrupting.
Sí, no te interrumpas, por
I,
favor.
Kubad, will spend the rest of my days in a foreign land till I breathe my last in a place
es demasiado
far from
personal.
home.
Oh, at least he brought it back in the end.
Prince Kubad, my child, there is no need to be rash. Please bring at least your fortune and the retainers who will
No los va a
always be
aceptar,
loyal to
obviamente.
you.
Gundafar, my dear mentor, you have always been like a father to me. It brings me only anguish to bid you farewell. But I must walk this path, or freedom dies by my hand. Goodbye, my tribe and kin. Farewell, sweet land of my birth.
Goodbye,
Qué profundo.
my child.
Ay, aplausos. Es buenísimo. Mira, ahí esta tipa ya le va. Ay, no.
Ooh, it's Prince Kubad. Could I please get your
No.
autograph?
Why,
No.
certainly,
Ay,
ma'am.
hijo de todo.
Ooh, thank you. I'll just go find a pen.
No, no, no le hagas caso, te va a llevar a un acto de matrimonio. No, yo primero.
Just an autograph? Well, you can get one of those at any time.
No, todo.
Acting is quite fun. If there ever came a day when I left the Knights of Favonius, I think I might go into acting full-time.
Serías buenísimo.
Darbil, could you introduce me to this young man?
Es un jugador,
My
obviamente.
apologies, Master Toos. I somehow missed you in the crowd earlier.
I was some distance away. I just came over near the end after I noticed the large crowd gathered around the stage. The performance was outstanding across the board. I knew that the poor turnout over the past few days was just bad luck. It was only the improvised section was particularly good. I think you could include some improvisation as a staple in future performances.
Y yo me lo
As for the
quedé, me lo
prop
aventó a mí.
no need to get it back.
Thank you, sir. And a big thanks also to our wonderful prince. Had Kaya not agreed to fill in, we might have disbanded right on the spot.
Kaya, was it? Well, young man, I must say you've made quite the impression on me. My caravan is always loaded with the finest food and wines.
Ay, qué bonito.
You're welcome to visit at...
Thank you for the invite, sir. But I'm afraid I've reached the end of my time in Sumeru. I'm sure that my
no
friends
te
and family in
vayas,
Mondstadt
no.
must be missing me terribly.
Well then, consider it an open invitation. Once you've been bitten by the travel bug, my friend, you'll be getting itchy feet again before too long. My door is always open. If you're ever interested, please ask Darbil to reach out to me.
Cuando te jubiles,
Darbil,
ok,
we can
interactúa.
continue discussions on the sponsorship once you've wrapped up today's show. I'm going back to the inn.
Thank you so much, Master Toos. I'll see you shortly. Seriously, Kaya, thank you for bailing me out again. You're a good guy. May the gods bless you.
Good guy. Ah.
You know, you should stay for a few more days. I owe you a meal at the very least.
Darbil,
incluida.
Asgar is back. He lost track of time playing Genius Invocation TCG.
Boy.
You've got to sort him out.
Genius Invocation again? That does
el
it.
que iba a ser el actor del
Kid's not
príncipe,
getting
ok.
away with it this time. Please excuse me, Kaya. I will be right back.
Okay.
Sure, there's no rush.
Ok, escuche que se aleja.
Okay,
ok.
I think they're all gone. Let's slip away now while we can.
Corre. Ay, ¿dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Ay, ¿por acá? Va a tomar un barco y se va a ir. Ay, no, que no se vaya. te vayas, mi vida, por favor. No. Ay, no.
All right, this should be far enough. Don't think they'll find me here.
¿Ya no firmas autógrafo?
People were starting to expect a lot of things that I didn't sign up for. Besides, the missing actor is back now. Darbil shouldn't be needing me to stand in again. I don't mind socializing, but compared to chatting over food and drink, I much prefer just going wild on the stage.
Pues sí.
What about you? Did you enjoy the show?
Me gustó tu actuación, obviamente. ¿Cómo responderías tú a esa pregunta?
I was expecting a lengthier critique, but you've thrown the question right back at me. Sneaky. All right, I'll rise to your challenge. Let me think. All the world's a stage, and all the people merely players. Does that answer your question?
¿Y todos nosotros no son actores? ¿No son actores? No entendí.
Perhaps there's an inept god out there deciding everyone's fates, much like the academia student drafting Darbil's scripts. Yeah, inept is a good word for it. Honestly, it might even be a little too civil to describe a god who turns fathers against their sons and is bent on endless warmongering, don't you think?
No sé, eso suena demasiado de... Ay, mi papá me dijo...
Anyway, that's exactly why actors need to wake up and realize they don't have to follow the script. There's nothing to stop them from following their gut and making it up as they go along.
Que los actores necesitan un toque de atención para darse cuenta de que no requieren de ni un guión, solo tienen que seguir sus ideales para actuar. No me gusta ninguna de las respuestas. ¿Qué clase de lógica es esa?
Oh, my dear traveler, please don't take me too literally. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. The god is just a figure of speech. The real point I'm making is about the actors. Everyone, you and I included, is both an actor and a member of the audience.
Okay,
If you don't like the script, just walk off the stage and join the audience. You always have a choice.
Suena difícil. Chale.
A little too obtuse? Well, don't dwell on it. It's nothing worth losing sleep over. Relax. Be yourself. Do your thing. That's all I'm really trying to say.
Ay, gracias. Qué bonito.
When I did my little bit of audience interaction back there, you had no time to prepare. You had to just say what you thought in the moment. I think those spontaneous thoughts are often the most authentic. And that's why I liked your answer. You're still holding on to the intaglio I threw you from the stage, right? Keep it. Think of it as a souvenir from my improvised performance. It's been the most fascinating day, hasn't it, little birdie?
Y ya se va el pájaro. Ay, le chifla. Ay, no, chifla a mí también. Ay, no, mejor me cayó. Ay, qué buena imagen. Me la guardo, me la guardo, me la guardo. La voy a subir a Twitter. Me gustó. Compatriotas. Ok. Ah, hijo. Pensé que tendría más finales esta, pero parece que no. Uno de 5. A mí me suena aquí, que aquí debería haber otro. En el de... El mundo es un escenario. Pero no estoy segura. A ver, a ver, a ver. A ver, a ver, a ver, a ver. Ok, Ok, aquí no vamos a ir a la obra.
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side.
A matter of utmost importance.
Huh. Outdoor theater.
Skipear.
Looks fun. Ah, yes. Here's what I was thinking about the unused fund. Given that the acting Grand Master saw fit to allocate these funds to my trip in the first place, I think it's my responsibility to make sure that every last mora is put to good use. In other words, what do you say we find a way to spend the remaining budget?
¿Cómo en qué?
Perhaps a fancy meal at a nice restaurant? Or a river cruise that takes in the sights of Sumeru City? Or we could buy a few nice mementos to take home.
Ay, en lugar de... No, ¿por qué no le puedo decir que... No, él dijo que lo que sobrara.
Hey, no need to put it like that. Let's keep walking. The rules of the Knights of Favonius state that any and all expenditures during a business trip are counted as travel expenses. That's more than enough justification to live a little. Of course, with me being here on my own, it was looking like a wasted opportunity. But now that I've run into you, why don't we make this a joint trip? You're always so busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper break. Even the sharpest blade loses its edge if it's always in use. Regular maintenance is essential. And anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Right now is the perfect time to relax and enjoy ourselves. Great. Music to my ears. I'll cover the travel costs, of course. There's nothing more enjoyable than the company of a good friend. Let's call this a nice little excursion to round off my long business trip. Now, let me think where we should go. I've seen a lot of Sumeru already, so let's go for someplace new. How about Liyue? I'd be heading past there on my way back to Mondstadt anyway, so it's not out of the way.
Liyue es como mi segunda casa. Sí.
Well, lucky me. I'll hold you to that.
Ay, sí.
Liyue's Ministry of Civil Affairs frequently corresponds with the Knights of Favonius, so the address on their letterhead is one of the few places I'm familiar with. I don't have much luggage, so it won't take me long to pack. Give me a moment, and then we'll head there together.
Ay, sí. A ver, déjame checar algo rápido. Oh, mira, ya se desactivó. Bueno, ya se puso otro. Entonces vamos a Liyue. Ok, vamos acá. Ay no, malversación de fondos. Pero no le hace, si se lo cobran yo se lo pongo. Y ya. Tengo 40 millones de moras que me sobran. Ay no, qué bonito. Me está gustando mucho la cita. No pensé que fuera así. Yo pensé que todo se desarrollaba en Sumeru, pero parece que no. Y qué bueno. Ay, sorry, tengo tos.
I've heard that there's lots to see and do in Liyue, but I'm sure you're more familiar with the place than I am, so I'll leave the itinerary to you.
Conmigo no te podrán estafar.
Excellent. Well, hopefully I'll get to know some of these friends for myself.
Ay, ¿te imaginas conocer a Xiao? Ay, no.
It's such a satisfying feeling to just drop everything, go on a long trip, and see something new. Who knows who we might cross paths with? We might even end up going on an impromptu adventure. Just like how I met you in Port Olmos, and now we're here. Come on, let's see what's up ahead.
Sí, vamos a darle. Ay, mi garganta me mata. Ay, perdón. A ver. Ay, ¿dónde estás? ¿Aquí? Ah.
Do you know this shop? It looks pretty nice from the outside. Shall we take a look?
Yo te lo compro, yo te compro todo
Welcome
lo
to
que quieras.
Minxing Jewelry. We are a long-established trader of precious
Quiero una de
stones.
esas cajas rojas, por
Is
favor.
there anything in particular?
Let me see. Ah, some nice jewelry you've got here. Maybe I can grab something with a local flavor as a souvenir. What do you think, traveler? See anything that suits my style? I trust your judgment.
¿Estás seguro? Ajá, son caros.
Ah, you're interested in souvenirs. If you're struggling to decide, you might want to consider getting some jade. You can't go wrong with a nice jade pendant. They're an elegant addition to your look, whatever your age or gender.
Sí, algo
If you're
neutro.
looking for a specific design, we can make it to your specifications. It does take some time to fulfill an order, however. High-quality jade is hard to come by, so our waiting list is at least a couple of
Quiero un
weeks.
souvenir para llevárselo de
Oh,
una
that's a
vez.
pity. I'm just visiting and I
sí,
won't be in town
exactamente.
for very long. So as much as it pains me to do so, I'm afraid I'll have to leave this beautiful bijou behind.
No worries at all, sir. If you're looking for something off the shelf, why not go and see Mr. Shurto at the Jade Mystery? He also deals in jade and precious stones. Exactly. But on that note, let me give you a word of advice.
Ah, vamos a
There's
apostar.
no risk in purchasing a piece of jade that's already been cut. But you could lose all of your mora betting on uncut rocks. I won't say any more, as I don't want my fellow vendors to think I'm bad-mouthing them. But I think you catch my drift. It's only human nature to spend a little when you're on a trip. But don't be too hasty to part with your cash.
Sí, pero
The
nos van a
Ministry of Civil
regañar.
Affairs takes everyone's
Nos van a
economic
matar
well-being
primero.
very seriously, and they often send out the Millilith to spread public awareness of well-known scams. As guests here, I'd encourage you to watch out for anyone trying to rip you off.
I think that's sound advice wherever you go into that. We appreciate it, boss.
Vamos a ir a apostar, neta. A ver, vayamos. Ay, no. Tengo tos de perro, perdón.
Welcome! Looking for uncut stones or pre-cut jade? We've got plenty of both for your viewing pleasure.
Uncut stones. Ah, yes, we were just briefed on that. Let's take a look at the pre-cut jade.
I believe I
no te
detect a
preocupes,
quiet
ajá.
but distinct tone of apprehension in your words. Please rest assured, there's nothing to be quite so wary about with my bit. Feel free to peruse at your leisure. I think you'll find that everything I do here is entirely above board and legitimate, and I sell only pure and unadulterated goods. No scam
sí.
guaranteed.
Pero no voy a querer
Sure,
gastar
you can bet on
2,000.
jade and lose if you're unlucky, but that doesn't make it a scam. My terms are clear and transparent, and I only do business with willing customers. What scammer can claim that?
Sounds perfectly reasonable. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much the vendor is charging. If the customer decides to hand over their money, they're taking the bait
No
of
lo
their own
hagas,
free
ella,
will.
no lo hagas.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you understand. Although your peculiar phrasing at the end there, you almost make it sound as if I really am. Anyway, betting on jade is what it is. Feel free to try your luck, but if you can't afford to lose, then I'll leave you to browse at your own pace now while I deal with other potential customers.
Amber-colored jade would probably make for a good souvenir.
¿Estás seguro, bebé?
Why not? This is a quirky little place. Somehow, I'm inclined to entertain him for a bit. Well, if you're not interested, then I guess we'll pass.
Ahoy there, Captain! Fancy seeing you back in town.
What, a poor sailor like me? You must be joking. I barely managed to make ends meet. What about you, Chateau? Still scamming people?
Hey! Keep your voice down. Can't you see I've got customers? But more to the point, when have you ever seen a customer get scammed in my store?
I mean, you want the full list? Or... Hold up. Is that... Captain Kaya! What, brings you to Liyue?
Oh, just taking a short trip with my friend. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a good while,
¿Qué pasó, bebé?
Anywhere you'd recommend I visit while I'm here?
Let me think. Wanmin Restaurant's always a pretty good bet. Chef Mao's daughter is a skilled chef, and their prices are very reasonable. My wife can't get enough of their boiled fish. You could give that a try. And, speaking of my wife, she won't let me forget what a great help you've been to us before. So thank you, on her behalf.
¿Quién es la esposa?
Your wife? Ah, yes. How is she doing these days? Keeping well?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Anyway, I've got something I need to do down at the South Wharf, so my apologies, Captain Kaya, but I'd better get going.
All right. See you.
No entiendo.
Ah, I finally remembered who that was. Captain Wu. He runs a transport business between Mondstadt and Liyue.
Okay, ya entendí.
I see. So you went through that whole conversation with no idea who you were talking to. Old Wu's usually quite the chatterbox, so it's very unusual for him to just take off mid-conversation. How exactly do you two know each other anyway?
An educated guess.
Obviamente.
Yes, you could put it like that. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. The captain was making a delivery to Mondstadt when his ship sprang a leak. He overexerted himself fixing it and keeping the cargo dry, and ended up passing out from exhaustion.
Well, it still seems strange to me. Sure, he's hardly the most charming conversationalist, and he's also mighty stubborn, but all of us know Old Wu is an honest and kind-hearted man. His eldest was once playing on that big rock over there, when he took a tumble and injured himself. I helped to patch the kid up, and the next day, Old Wu was here to buy a couple of uncut stones. I'm just surprised he was so quick to excuse himself, that's all. Normally, he's the kind of guy who...
Well, stubborn, I can believe. Someone had drilled a gaping hole in his ship, and the water was coming in fast. How he managed to make it all the way to Mondstadt, not to mention with his cargo intact, I have no idea.
Someone drilled a hole in his ship? Oh dear. It must have been one of the less savory captains out there trying to sabotage his business, so they can squeeze their way into the market. When competition is stiff, sometimes things get ugly. It's the way of the world, unfortunately. His line of work isn't easy. The poor fellow usually has to set sail before the break of dawn. He's been loitering around a lot these past few weeks, though. I thought maybe he'd come into some Mora. Competition is fierce these days, and there's not a lot of Mora to be made in shipping. So every day he stays idle is another negative in the books.
Okay.
I do wonder what's gotten into him. Anyway, I digress. We merchants protect our goods like our own lives, so who knows? Maybe he had some important cargo to see to. Either way, good sir, don't mind him.
I am an upstanding member of the Knights of Favonius, after all. Just look me in the eyes. Don't you find me trustworthy?
Since you asked about recommendations earlier, you're here from Mondstadt, yes? Might I suggest the tea house is somewhere to rest your legs? If memory serves, they're just about to retell the tale of Bravebeard the Valiant from the top.
Okay.
Why not pay them a visit?
Huh. Sounds interesting enough. Let's...
A ver, entonces, ¿a dónde vamos a ir? ¿Con Shangling o con...? Ah, ok, con ella. Digo, a la casa de Tico, ok. Yo pensé que íbamos a ir ahí con el papá de Shangling, pero parece que no. Chale. Sorry por mi voz huevos de perro. Bueno, por mí todo.
Huh. So this is the Huyu tea house.
Uy, como hay muchos.
We meet again, Captain Kaya. What a coincidence. Twice in one day.
De hecho.
Oh, that didn't take me long. And I ran the whole way.
De algo se está escondiendo.
Wu, weren't you just at Wanwen Bookhouse buying a book for your daughter? What's this talk about the wharf?
Ya se lo cacharon.
Just leave it be, Anjong. There's no need to embarrass him right in front of everyone else. I take it that you two aren't from around these parts. I'm a caravan guard by trade, and meeting people from all over the world is one of the main perks of the job for me. Why don't you join my table so we can get to know each other?
Oh,
okay.
Seems like the tea house is the place to be in Liyue. Feels like I'm back in the angel share. Did you manage to get something for your daughter just now, Captain Wu?
Yes, thank you. If it weren't for you, Captain Kaya, she might not have even made it into this world.
I'm so lost, Wu. What's the story here?
Your wife's originally from Mondstadt, isn't she? Did you run into Captain Kaya when you were there on business, or when you were visiting the in-laws?
The latter.
A ver, quiero más chisme.
Oh, this is so humiliating. Anyway, back when my wife was pregnant, we were taking a trip to Mondstadt to visit her parents this one time, when we were mugged by a group of treasure hoarders near Dawn Winery.
That sounds awful. Were either of you hurt?
I mean, he's still here, and he's still got all his limbs, so they can't have roughed him up too bad. I'm guessing Captain Kaya stepped in before they could do either of you any serious harm, huh?
Yes, he did. Thankfully, he heard my wife crying for help and drove them away. My wife was injured and quite shaken up by the ordeal, so he took her to the winery and asked them to look after her.
Ok, entonces estaban cerca del viñedo y de todos modos él se llevó a la esposa y la metió a las bodegas del viñedo y... ok, ya entendí.
So, what happened to you? Where did you disappear to?
I was in the water.
¿Como por?
Huh? What did you jump in the water for? You know they can still get you in there, right?
Dejó a su esposa embarazada morir sola.
No, that's not... They threw me into the water and stripped me of all my clothes.
¿Toda?
They did what? Did they have a weird fetish or something? Stripping a sailor naked and throwing him into the water. It's not like you were going to drown.
Desnudo.
So, then what? I take it you swam to shore?
Ay, no, ya entendí.
The treasure hoarders always move in groups, and fighting back when you're outnumbered isn't usually an option.
Captain Kaya, please, there's no need for you to try to save face for me like this. I already owe you so much. You don't have to do anything more. Yet, despite that, I somehow only ended up humiliating myself further. They tossed me into the water to humiliate me, and to use it as leverage to get my wife to pay up. But what I'd intended was to pretend to drown, then sneak back onto shore while they weren't looking, and find a way to rescue my wife. That was before Captain Kaya appeared out of nowhere and saved the day. So then I figured I'd get out of the water, get dressed, and catch up with you.
Ropa.
But God knows what they did with my clothes. I couldn't find them anywhere. By the time I gave up looking for them, you were most of the way to the winery, so I had to run after you with nary a thing on myself.
Lo que pasó es que los atacaron los ladrones, se llevaron a la esposa a esconderla a las bodegas, el güey se quedó en el agua, encuerado, sin nada, y cuando salió a buscar a la esposa pues no traía nada, así que se fue, a lo mejor camino al viñedo a buscar a la esposa, pero sin nada. Y ahí lo encontró. Ok, ya entendí.
Outrageous!
So, what happened next?
Ay, pobre, se va a morir de la
I made it to the
vergüenza.
winery, but the maids noticed me first. And they called the lord of the manor out to give me the beating the treasure hoarders never got around to.
Sí. Sí, ya me lo veía venir, ajá. Se fue encuerado, Yo me imagino que son las dos que siempre están afuera ¿cómo se dice? De la finca del viñedo y las vio, gritaron, se asustaron y, y salió Diluc con la mandoble. Ay, no, pobre tipo.
After my wife recovered consciousness, she had to have a long talk with the young lord to explain everything. He then escorted us both safely to Stonegate.
Ah, o sea, la mujer fue la que tuvo que dar la cara y decir lo que pasó, de que, ay, nos intentaron asaltar, le quitaron la ropa, lo dejaron encuerado, su hermano me trajo aquí, me salvó, nos ayudó, entonces, ok, entonces que ella tuvo que explicarle a Diluc que a este vato lo encueraron y que dejaron a la esposa desmayada. Ay, pobre güey. Ay, no.
I'm sorry.
¡Qué grosera! Y se burla. No, pobre güey.
Ugh, good luck living that one down.
Siento que este güey tiene peor suerte que Bennett.
Trust me, I know. My wife never lets me forget.
Se lo surtió.
I'm sorry, Captain. I wasn't intending to share that story.
Pobrecito.
It's fine. It's my own fault for thinking I
No
could
pasa
sweep
nada,
it under
somos
the
bien
carpet and
chismosos.
forget about it. I don't know if I can ever repay you for all you've done. That's why I get so embarrassed every time I run into you.
Ilumina ahí nada más escuchando la conversación entre los tres así de nomás y riéndose. Y me imagino que Paimon también así de ese güey se quedó en pelotas. Ay,
Still,
no.
it won't stop me from trying. You and your friend are here to catch the storyteller, right? The
Pues ya-
tea's on me. It's
Ya
the least
escuchamos la
I can do.
historia de cómo se quedó encuerado.
In fact, they do serve some food here too, but it's not the best. Okay, let me run and get some fruit to share.
Ay, sí,
I'll be right back.
pobrecito. Está huyendo de la vergüenza. Chale. Y todos se burlan. ¿Y Kaella? ¿Qué pedo? Acá está. Bueno, eso no era el último.
Oh, poor Wu.
Es que se sintió mal porque esta tipo se ríe. Y se sigue riendo.
Gosh, I'm so sorry. It's just...
El sonido del... No, ay, no.
I wonder how much Fanaria caught of that. Old Wu really has no filter, does he?
Pobre. Dejen de burlarse. Y Kaella. Ay, yo no quería decirle nada a nadie. No.
He really
Es un
didn't
don
have to
caballero.
share all the details of that story. But since he didn't seem to mind, I wasn't about to stop him.
¿Te hiciste el dato a propósito? Sí, obviamente.
I did actually forget at first. But once he brought up his daughter, the memory of his naked escapades came flooding back. Diluc thought some pervert was harassing the
¿Ves?
maids.
¿Ves?
He charged straight out the door, great sword in hand and raring to go. I haven't seen him so
obvio,
angry in a
ajá.
long time.
¿Ves? Diluc pensó que alguien estaba acosando a los criados del villano y salió furioso con la mandoble. ¿Ves? Te dije que con la mandoble. No, ay no, ya me imagino a Diluc así bien emperrado con la mandoble así con piro, así de hijo de puta madre o algo así, no sé. No sé.
So many people owe me favors nowadays. It's hard to
Ay,
keep track of
Dios.
them all. I really should go check my favors ledger once I'm back and refresh my memory.
Ay, chale. ¿Ves? Kaella es buena persona. Yo no sé por qué tanta gente dice, ay, que Kaella conoce que... Ay, no, es un pan de Dios. Yo lo amo mucho. Suena preocupante. Ay, no sé qué decirle. ¿Qué le digo? No sé. Ay, no. No sé, ¿qué le digo? Bueno.
Hey, you didn't think I was being serious, did you? Do I really strike you as the kind of person to keep track of favors in a notebook?
Sí.
I just helped the guy out on a couple of occasions because I happened to be in the right place at the right time. I have no intention of asking him to do anything for me in return. At least, not so far.
I'm back with fruit. Please help yourselves, everyone. My treat.
Jovencitas.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. It's just a few fruits, nothing extravagant. Once my new pharmaceutical business takes off and I have Mora to spare, I'll get you a proper thank you gift and send it to the Knights of Favonius.
Pharmaceutical business. So you found a new career? No more shipping?
Shipping's impossible work nowadays. There's too much competition and the margins are too small. So I've decided to switch gears.
Pues es mucho riesgo, sí, lo entiendo.
I'm going to become a partner of Boo Boo Pharmacy and provide funding for a brand new medication they're producing.
Ay, mira, lo que noble. Para el desarrollo de la vacuna del COVID.
It's specially formulated to treat seasonal joint and limb pain. If you didn't know, it's a very common health complaint among sailors, but also extremely difficult to treat.
Ah, chis, ¿cómo es eso? ¿Se te da el dolor de piernas en días de lluvia? O sea que el dolor de, ay, me duelen las rodillas es porque va a llover. Entonces, ¿es real? ¿Qué pido?
I've suffered from it myself, which is why I know that a lot of people stand to benefit from this once it enters the market.
Okay.
It's a good cause, and a stable source of income. Whichever way you look at it, it's a step up from the back-breaking work I did before. I've already had some talks and invested 1 million Mora for the first round of funding.
Necesito tantita coquita. Ay, me duele la garganta. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, espérame tantito. Ya, sorry. Acordé una colaboración con un socio y planeo invertir 1 millón de moras para empezar. Oh.
That's impressive, Wu. I wouldn't have thought you had the connections for something like that. So is it Dr. Baiju that you're in talks with?
¿Vamos a ir con él?
Oh no, not Dr. Baiju. Actually, it was his master, Dr. Baifudze. His medical expertise and clinical experience are second to none. And he gave me a few of his traditionally formulated bone-strengthening pills when he saw me suffering from my leg pains one day. It was like a miracle cure. The pain immediately went away.
Dr. Baiju's master.
El maestro
Yeah,
Dr. Baizu?
I told him I'd be enthusiastically recommending his medicine to the other guys at the docks. And after some, he said that he shouldn't really be handing out free prescriptions since, and I quote, "It goes against generations of tradition handed down by our forebears." But he just felt like it was the right thing to do.
But I got chatting with Dr. Baiju recently when the Secure Transport Agency did a delivery for Boo Boo Pharmacy. He told me that his master has already passed away.
O sea, yo tenía entendido que, por ejemplo, la viborita esta, es que no sé cómo se llama, la que trae este Baiju en el cuello. Yo tenía entendido, no he hecho la misión, no sé, corríjanme si no es cierto, de que se supone que la víbora pasa como al siguiente. Cuando se muere uno, pasa la víbora al siguiente doctor, a lo que yo tengo entendido, no sé. Según yo, por eso ya estaba muerto, ¿no? El maestro de Baiju. Pero, ¿sabe? No sé.
Huh? Why would he say something like that? I mean, the guy's old, but he's still in great health.
Ah, ¿sí está vivo?
Captain Wu, where did you meet this old master?
Just out on the street? I know that sounds dubious, but this is an educated and respectable gentleman we're talking about. There's no faking that.
Mande. A ver, espérenme tantito. ¿Qué pasó? Ven. A ver, espérenme, que quiere comer. Ahorita regreso. Ay, voy. Ya. Es que llegó mi gato y quiere comer. Bueno, quería. Ya le di de comer. Ay. Ay, no sé qué le piqué. Ya.
Hold on a second. I just remembered something. My nephew-in-law met a medicine seller not too long ago, too. He also described it as a miracle cure.
El marido de mi sobrina se encontró antes con un vendedor de medicinas.
He spent a lot of mora on it, but when he brought it to Boo Boo Pharmacy, Herbalist Gui took one look and told him he'd bought nothing but regular painkillers.
Les vendieron paracetamol y se los vendieron bien caro. Ay,
This
no.
Bai Fudzu you met, did he by any chance have a goatee and salt and pepper hair?
He did.
¿Ves? Le estafaron.
If I may, Captain Wu, there's a lot of mora involved here. It seems like it would be worth asking this Dr. Baiju about his master, just to set the record straight.
You're right, Captain Kaya. A quick trip to Boo Boo Pharmacy, and I can get Dr. Baiju to clear all of this up. I'm sure it's all... I mean, hopefully it's all fine.
Salud, Kela.
He left in a hurry. He must be stressed out of his mind right now.
Hey, let him deal with this, okay? No point in you stressing yourself out, too. Fraud or not, it's up to Captain Wu to figure out exactly who he's gotten himself involved with. I'm no Dark Knight hero, or martial arts hero for that matter, and neither are you.
Nosotros sí. Bueno, Lumi sí. Y el héroe oscuro, según yo, nada más trabaja en Mondstadt, creo. A lo mejor. Yo creo. ¿Quién sabe?
Wait, or are you? Now that I think about it, I can see you having a secret double life as a martial arts hero here in Liyue. Either way, Liyue has its own rules and regulations. Best to let the Ministry of Civil Affairs deal with this in the proper manner. If a couple of outlanders like us get involved, we might just end up muddying the waters, even with the best of intentions.
Deja tú que digan que dos extranjeros van a decir que porque el capitán de Mondstadt tendría que andar resolviendo asuntos de Liyue. Y pues así, ¿no? O sea, no.
We came here to enjoy ourselves, remember?
Ajá, sí, no vino.
We don't want to get our priorities mixed up.
Bueno, sí tenemos que trabajar, pero nos
look at
hicimos
that.
patos. Nos estamos
The
gastando el dinero de
storyteller's
bien.
taking the stage.
It is said that the sky's the limit for the aspirational soul. But alas, for the woes of the world are equally limitless. No such stranger to woes was Huang Guang, a man who, having suffered countless injustices at the hands of his yet fate fortuitous found him when he entered the tutelage of an adeptus and learned many mystical arts from them. Per his master's wishes, he then returned once more to the human world, only this time with a sworn duty to cleanse the land of demons and to see justice done wherever he might tread.
A lo mejor.
Is that all? Huh. I was hoping to hear the rest of the story. It was all right. I suppose the hero always has to sacrifice himself to save others, and it does make for some good storytelling. But it leaves you wondering how he really feels about the whole thing. Did he ever have second thoughts? Only he can know, I suppose.
Oh, I see the show is over. Yeah, I saw Dr. Baiju. Looks like it was a scam after
Te
all.
estaban vendiendo paracetamol.
Then what are you waiting for? Don't just stand there. You need to report this to the Ministry of Civil Affairs right away.
Ajá. Ve y denuncia.
Hold on. Let's not lose our cool. Get your story straight first, so you can give them a clear and detailed account of events in the order that they occurred.
Ya
And
va a
one
ir a
more thing.
partírsela para sacarle la
Do you
información.
still have a way to contact...
Well, I'd arranged to meet him at the Yunsheng Tea House once I've withdrawn the next sum of Mora.
Vamos a ir.
So I suppose
Vamos a
we'll
ir.
still be waiting on
Y que ella
that.
le va a sacar la información, obviamente.
Okay, so you've got another meeting lined up.
Vamos a ir. Yo te acompaño.
I've
Yo te
got no
acompaño.
one to blame but myself for this. I can't believe I was so gullible. I guess the world isn't made for naive simpletons like me.
Es que si ya le han pasado tantas cosas malas, como que debería de ya no ser tan confianzudo. Bueno, no confianzudo, sino que ya no confiar tanto en la gente. Las buenas personas merecen respeto. Es una vergüenza engañar así a los demás. Pues es una
Young
vergüenza.
lady, you're a good person, and I'm touched by your words of comfort. Still, It's up to me to find a way to get my Mora back. The consequences are mine alone to bear. At my age, I'm sure I should be comforting the young with words of wisdom rather than the other way around. What does that say about how I've spent my life?
Ay, mi pelo, Luciel, suéltame. Ay, ya. Va a querer ir a sacarle la información.
It's obvious, isn't it? He needs to report the case to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
No puedes enterrar de esto así como así.
Come with me.
¿Ves? Vamos a...
Don't worry, Wu. We'll come with...
Surely I'll be able to get my Mora back.
Vamos a sacar el dinero, vamos a sacar el dinero. Ay, no. ¿Me dejan tomarme una foto primero con él antes de que estamos en Lille? Necesito sacar una captura. Ay, qué guapos. Ya, porque siempre estoy tomando fotos y me hago taruga.
I am quite curious. How does our chivalrous martial arts hero intend to come to Captain Wu's rescue here? There are countless victims of injustice in the world. We can't try to help each and every one of them, can we? Oh, I'm surprised. I didn't know you thought of me as some... I'm genuinely flattered. But we both know that I'm not that kind of person, really.
Ni siquiera lo recordaba.
Your logic is very straightforward and quite endearing in its
Ay,
simplicity.
Ay, no.
But I like how you think. So I'll indulge your martial arts hero aspirations for...
Que lo vamos a partir, yo quiero ir a partir madres.
Captain Wu, how would you feel about owing me one more favor?
I'm sorry, Captain Kaya?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I found a way to recover your Mora that would leave the man who defrauded you feeling if it could be done, and the only cost was owing me yet another favor. What would you say?
What exactly are you getting at?
The Traveler here is adamant that you should ask me for another favor. Personally, I blame the storyteller. After the inspiring tale of Bravebeard, she's all gung-ho about playing hero and righting this injustice once and for all.
Captain Kaya, young lady, I... thank you. I will humbly accept your kindness.
All right. Now here's what I'm thinking. All right, then it's settled. Per our brave hero's plan, let's rendezvous at Yanshang Tea House tomorrow.
Ya se debió de haber ido a Mondstadt y no se fue. Nada más nos estamos viendo patos y nos estamos gastando el dinero del gym. No. Mañana a las 8. ¿No es donde se reúne esta Yelan, según yo?
Ah, you're here. Good. I'll head upstairs first, and you join me in a bit. You've got nothing to worry about. As long as this lucky coin's in my hands, before I toss the coin, I'll get our guy to bet heads or tails. Then it's your turn to bet. Now remember, if I touch my chin, you bet heads. If I touch my forehead, you go for tails.
A ver, recuerda que si me toco la barbilla dices cara. Y si me toco la frente dices cruz. Cruz, cara. Ok, a ver, barbilla, cara, ok. Barbilla, cara, ok. Que no se me olvide.
Hello. Are you waiting for someone? As long as you follow the rules of the tea house, you're welcome here.
Ah, como que ahí están las escaleras. Barbilla, cara.
From the way you describe it, Liyue does sound like an attractive place to settle. Perhaps I might have to make the move here after all. All that awaits me back in Mondstadt is a horde of insufferable sycophants. Truly tedious. The reason I left home in the first place was because I was reluctant to simply live off of my inheritance.
I understand. For one as ambitious as yourself, Mr. Rich, living off of the family fortune must feel...
Querido, le voy a decir.
What are you doing? It's common courtesy to introduce yourself. Can't you see we got here first? They're running out of tables, huh? Looks like this location's getting too small for them. Very well. I'll make an exception for you this one time. Let's hope the tea...
So, my friend, what's your name?
Usted que acaba de subirse a la mesa, ¿cómo se llama? Que no se me olvide el papel que representa cada uno. Soy un estudiante de la escuela Wuhua. ¿Qué? Es un poco... La escuela Wuhua.
Here is the tea that you ordered. Please.
Ugh, this tea is... Mr. Bai, this has been a most pleasant and insightful conversation. I consider it good fortune that I encountered such a refined gentleman as yourself so far from home.
Yes, good fortune indeed. In that case, I must thank you for your generosity.
You there. I'll get yours too.
¿Y si juntamos nuestras mesas contigo también? No eres de por aquí.
Oh, you can't tell? My family's lived in Mondstadt for generations. I got bored sitting around at home and decided to set off on a journey to expand my horizons. The sights of Liyue Harbor are rather spectacular. I've half a mind to buy a waterfront property here so I can come vacationing every year. That would be quite nice. If the family would spare me a little loose change, I could even invest in an antique shop or two so I have something to do during the day.
¿Inviertes por diversión? ¿Me estás tomando el pelo?
Flaunting? Come on, we're talking 20, 30 million tops, surely. Isn't that just pocket change?
Mr. Rich, just to clarify, that's quite a large sum of mora as far as the common woman is concerned. It's understandable that our friend over here feels out of her league.
The name's Albert. Surname Rich. But only the servants in the house address me as Mr. Rich. Now that we're so well acquainted, Mr. Bai, please just call me Albert.
Puede llamarme Albert. Se llama Albert. Pero es Albert Rich. Oh, Dios mío. Necesito... Bueno, esperen. Ya.
Albert does have a nice ring to it.
You flatter me. What say you to acting as my guide during my time in Liyue? I'll pay you handsomely, of course. Naturally, board and lodging would be included. And I could pay you in the region of 50,000 mora per day?
50. Yo quiero ese empleo. Yo necesito un salario de eso.
No need, my good friend. I shan't be so vulgar as to take your Mora. We're both men of character. The pleasure of your ongoing acquaintance shall be to join a noble gentleman on his travels is a rare opportunity. Please.
You there. You're welcome to join us if you want. Which clan did you say you were with? The Hoo-Ha clan or something?
Escuela Guhua.
Guhua, huh? Strange choice of name. Gotta say, I've been in Liyue for a while now.
Yes, well, there are many martial arts clans and factions in Liyue. It's only natural that you haven't become acquainted with them.
Ha, fair enough. Still, weird name. Bet they have some even weirder practices. Seriously, though, what kind of skills do you guys train anyway? It's all for show, right? I saw some people performing a few tricks down at the wharf. Is it that kind of thing?
Artes marciales, ay Dios. Si estás comparando la escuela Guhua, ¿verdad? Con los artes callejeros no tenemos nada de qué hablar. Me despido, voy a pagar lo que tengo.
I already told the server to put it on my tab. Don't bother getting her to split the bill. It'll only complicate things.
No tenemos tanta confianza, no es necesario. Mi maestro dice que no debo aceptar favores sin dar nada a cambio.
Young lady, there's no need to take things so seriously. Why don't you loosen up and enjoy the free drink?
No.
Are you trying to make a point by throwing my generosity back in my face? All right then. What if I say your bill is mine and don't let you pay?
Te voy a dejar pagar. Que lo que quieres es un puñetazo.
Please, my friends, let's not get so worked up. Yenchong Tea House is no... You young people have hot tempers, I understand that. But there's no need to come to blows over a few words taken to heart when there are far more diplomatic ways to resolve the dispute.
Claro, Cruz. Si yo gano, pagaré mi cuenta.
Did I hear that right?
Si ganas,
so you'll only
pagarás.
pay for yourself if you win, but I'll get the check for the three of us if you lose. It's not that I care about the Mora. After all, I offered to pay for everyone's drinks in the first place. No, what I find truly absurd is your refusal to play fair. I demand that you also pay for three if you win.
Qué tipo tan insolente y desvergonzado. Soy una excelente actriz. Si gano, además tendrás que disculparte con el clan Guhua.
Fine. You can have your apology if you win, but on one condition. We'll do the best of three, and the winner pays for the table.
Well, as long as you're no longer raring to fight, peace begets wealth, as the elders used to say.
Barbilla cara, okay.
Why do you join us, Mr. Bai? Let's entertain this gal for a sec. We don't want her to think you're stingy.
But I wasn't.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Bai? Whose side are you on here? And anyway, it's no big deal if you win. It's just a few cups of tea after all, so you can just take it...
all right then. I suppose it's not all that different from the dice gambling games I used to play.
All right, now we're talking. Okay, now that we've agreed on the rules, how should we do this coin toss? After all, a Mora coin looks the same on both sides. Well, that should be simple enough. Here, I'll take this coin and ask the counter to draw a line on one side. You two can wait for me.
Okay.
Young lady, I can see that you haven't spent many years in the real world. You take everything far too personally.
Apenas llevo, acabo de sacar nada más una foto, apenas, en Sumeru, y me vine acá para Liyue a hacer otra cosa, pero pues ya se está haciendo todo este desmadre, así que apenas fui por la segunda foto.
I, too, only met this Mondstadt millionaire by complete chance today, but we're getting along just fine. I actually came here to meet with him. In the real world, you've got to keep up appearances. There's no need to offend the rich. After all, if you keep them happy, you can probably make some more off of them, too. You young people are much too impulsive.
Excuse me?
Just so we're clear, let's say the marked side is heads, and the unmarked side is tails. Everyone has to pick a side before the coin toss. Oh, and no takebacks. We should also take turns tossing the coin.
Sounds fair to me. Why don't you do the first toss?
All right, then, I'll start us off. Here we... Oh, wait. I nearly forgot to collect everyone's bets. Mr. Bai, heads or tails?
I suppose the choice is arbitrary since it's a 50-50 chance. I'll go.
Let me think. I'll also go with tails. What about you? Heads or tails?
Ah, como había previsto.
Darn, I won. Lucky me, I guess.
I won as well. Guess there might be a formal apology in the cards after all. I have a suggestion. If one of us loses twice in a row, they should get knocked out while the other two carry on playing to decide the winner. I flipped the coin last time, so why don't you go next? I don't want you blaming my coin-tossing skills if you guess wrong this turn. Here.
Now just wait a second, my dear friends. Please let me do the second toss.
Oh? Anxious to take your turn, Mr. Bai?
You are both young, and I've already seen your short tempers for myself. If Albert loses this round and this young lady wins, you'll be tied. And before you know it, you'll be at each other's throats again.
Ah, hijo. ¿Qué hago? Yo no juego fuerte de plan, soy fuerte de este tipo.
Well, that's not my only consideration, either. In dice games, people use all sorts of methods to rig the game. So, if Albert wins the next round, and you, young lady, lose for the second time in a row, then the third round will... If that happens, only for you to then find out that the coin was rigged all along, you're sure to accuse me of working with Albert to scam you while mocking the Guhua clan. I can only imagine the kind of vengeful warpath that would
Pues es mora, tiene el mismo símbolo por los dos lados, así que pues es lo mismo técnicamente.
A purely hypothetical scenario, of course, but one that I'm bringing up now to avoid any misunderstanding further down the road.
Very diligent of you indeed, Mr. Bai. Looks like I chose the right person to be my...
A rigged coin will always be a little heavier than a normal coin, you see. Yeah, this one seems perfectly normal to me, however.
No soy tan quisquillosa.
What's your bet this time, Mr. Bai?
I'll stick with tails.
Tails, huh? Well, you seem to have a feel for this, so I guess I'll match your bet again this round. Tails it is. And you?
No, pues cara.
Well, my luck's still just about holding out. The three of us are now tied, so no one drops out.
Well, here you go.
It's a tough decision this time.
That's what makes it fun, isn't it? Anyway, there's no need to stress. What's the
50,000
cost of a few
prometí.
cups of tea compared to 50,000 I'll be paying you every day?
Que ella tuvo que haber llegado a Mondstadt desde ayer y no ha llegado y se va a enojar Jean.
You make a good point. All right, I'll take heads.
Okay, and now it's my turn to guess. Not that the outcome matters either way to me. I won't even notice the Mora's gone. Whatever.
Cruz.
Why did it have to be heads? This whole thing started because you two got into a spat, and now I'm the one that has to foot the bill. What say you to another round?
Sure, why not? I'm having fun. I can go for as many rounds as you want. What a miserly person. Do as you please. The two of us can play.
Calla, ya deja de jugar.
But Albert, all the fun of gambling is in the stakes involved. What say you to throwing a little...
Oh, come on now. No need to walk on eggshells here. Let's keep it simple, shall we? If you guess right, I pick up the tab.
Sure. That's a...
Well, here's the coin. You can toss first. I'll take heads. Wouldn't it defeat the whole purpose of betting if you guessed the same as me?
All right. It all comes down to luck, after all. I'll take tails.
Okay.
Ooh, looks like Rex Lapis has smiled upon me today after all.
Look at you getting so giddy over some chump change.
Well, in that case, would...
Sure. Let's up the stakes a little this time. Shall we say 50,000?
Oh, maybe that's a little on the...
What, 50,000? But that's just a single day's guide pay for you.
All right. I'll bet tails.
Great, then I'll bet heads. Heads.
Tails. Oh, how unfortunate. I shouldn't have gotten greedy. After all, in the long run, gambling is always... Albert, I'm terribly sorry, but as it happens, I forgot to bring my coin purse.
Advance payment? Sorry, I'm afraid that's not my style. It'll have to be cash.
This day, just getting better and better. Well, so be it. 50.
Saca 50,000.
Just 50,000. That's not what we agreed on.
Huh? What are you talking about? I think...
No, it wasn't. The amount was 1 million.
1 million?
1 million? Are you insane? Come on now, Albert. Be serious. 1 million here and 1 million there might be all fun and games to you rich types, but to ordinary folk like myself, this is no laughing matter.
I'm being perfectly serious. I know what I said, and what I said was 1 million mora.
You're lying through your teeth. Hey, young lady, you tell him. Did you hear him say 1 million at any point during our bet?
Yo siempre voy a estar del lado de mi marido, obviamente.
What the? I'm not deaf, you know.
No.
I swear I heard 50. Oh, I see. I never met either of you before today, and out of nowhere you suddenly roped me into betting over a coin toss, and now you're cute. Huh? Do you have any idea who you're trying to cheat? Well, don't you try to celebrate just yet. Do you really think that nobody else will have heard all the commotion we just made? Frauds! Frauds, I say! These two kids are trying to scam me out of my hard-earned mora!
Jovenzuelo!
How pathetic.
What is going on here? If you can't abide by our rules, you're not welcome at Yenshang Tea House. I don't care what the issue is. You don't get to make a racket like that in here. Halberd! Fang!
Wait, don't throw me out! These two con artists are trying to steal my...
Well, let's take this somewhere else. I don't want any of you disturbing the other guests.
This table's taken.
Okay, you two. Care to explain?
Gladly. He's making up completely spurious claims. We were betting mora over a few coin tosses, and now he wants to back out. He won 250,000 from me, then another 800,000 from the both of us. Now he's refusing to pay up the measly 50,000 that he lost in the final round.
Su cara de enojado.
Okay, so after settling up, a total of 1 million mora should have changed hands. Sounds plausible enough.
Oh,
It's a complete pack of lies. Hostess, if you don't believe me, ask anyone else in...
Sorry to interrupt you all, but you're witnesses to...
Oh, thank goodness you're finally here. What took you so long? That old guy's been bragging about the Mora he's won so loudly, I'm surprised the whole street didn't hear him. I was about to report him to the...
Leave me out of this. I want nothing to do with gamblers and scammers. Please, just...
Our new owner laid down the law not too long ago. We turn a blind eye towards casual games of dice, but there is zero tolerance for any explicit gambling with real Mora. Return any winnings to the party you took them from, and we'll say that none of this ever happened. Otherwise, I'll have to bring in the Millilith. And I can assure you that they take a more hard line on this kind of thing than we do.
Why should I have to give them any Mora? I don't have any Mora on me.
Oh, but I think you do. 2 investments, was it? One of them to the tune of exactly 1 million as it happens. Oh, and don't forget you still need to pay the tax.
You... Wait.
Halberd! Fang! There's a gentleman here that I'd really like you to meet.
Please, please don't.
This was never your Mora to begin with. We'll be returning it to its rightful owner now.
¿Le sacamos $1 millón? Hola.
We can't have this discussion in front of the other customers. Please, step outside.
Ah, que nos vayamos, dice.
What did you think, Captain Wu? Could you hear clearly from your...
Yes, everything.
Woo. This was your... along with that blonde one. And all the customers on that floor were in on it too, weren't they? I know where you live. And I know what your wife...
Who'd be scared of a crook like you?
Well, let's see how long that fall...
Oh, look at that. He figured it out.
Don't you two get cocky either. Just you.
My apologies for having to leave this question until you'd vacated the premises. But I couldn't... I noticed that all the guests on the 2nd floor were present before you took your seats, then left almost immediately after... Would I be correct in saying you were looking to set this man...
Wait, so you saw through it?
Under normal circumstances, we would never tolerate a scheme like this taking place on our grounds. As it risks... However, I understand that our owner holds the Traveler in high regard, and must have good reasons for their actions. Still,
Esta viejera está bien que
I would
nuestro
appreciate
nuevo
an
dueño
explanation,
aprecia mucho,
if
así
only
que
so
estoy
that I
segura de
can
que
answer
tiene
to
sus
the owner.
motivos. ¿Quién es el nuevo dueño entonces? Pero ahí es donde se reúne Yelan, ¿no? Entonces Yelan será la dueña. Sabe, no sé. ¿Qué es lo que ha pasado? Se lo contamos.
As I thought. When you're operating on someone else's turf, you run the risk of clash. Over to you, brave hero. You're the one...
Me cuenta la historia de cómo se fueron al Capitán Wu.
Okay. I understand the situation now. It goes without saying that I have no wish to stand in the way of your chivalrous deeds.
Well, Captain Wu, remember what I promised you? What do you think? Angry and frustrated enough for you?
Excuse me, coming through. Is this the Mr. Bai you reported to?
Yes, that's him all right. The one who scammed.
Wait! Where's your evidence? And Wu!
You can't talk your way out of this one. You're already suspected of defrauding multiple victims out of smaller amounts, and the combined total meets the threshold for a conviction. If it turns out you're guilty in this case, too, it'll only add to your sentence. Does the plaintiff have any witnesses? If so, we'd really... You got tangled up in this too, huh? In that case, please come with me. Your witness statements will play a crucial role in helping to move... Don't worry, we won't take up too much of your time. And you, sir, can stop twiddling your thumbs. You're coming with us, too.
Hey, keep your hands off me. I'll cooperate. Stop manhandling me.
El vato.
Thank you so much, the both of you. I really don't know how I could ever begin to repay you.
Well, I have an idea. We originally came here to do some sightseeing.
Let me think. Now, where would I want to go? Hey, are either of you interested in a fishing trip?
¿Qué? No entendí. Es que estoy leyendo el comentario. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué pedo? No sé.
Sounds fun to me. Let's go.
A ver. Déjenme ver qué tal va la ruta porque no sé. Ya está demasiado larga. Está más larga que la que hice en Sumero. A ver. Ah, hijo de su perra madre. Ok. Sí, mira, es que nada más... Ay, no sé por qué se... Mira, nada más llevo una. Un recuerdo tras qué? Un encuentro tras una larga separación. Ok. ¿A dónde voy a ir? O sea, como dijo eso, necesito checar la repetición. No sé en qué minuto fue. Si alguien me guarda el minuto, porfa, para checarlo. Ay, esperen, creo que me están llamando. Ahí es mi papá, aguanten.
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all. Seems all the other knights already have their hands full. I didn't know you were such a slacker. Seems all the other knights already have their hands full.
coming in! Paimon, coming in! Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon?
Ya, no sé si ya se escuche mejor o no. Tengo tos de perro, perdón. Y es que no puedo checar mi amigo porque si me escucho doble me voy a confundir. No sé si se escuche bien, sino para bajarle un poquito más. A ver, esperen. Creo que se escucha más mi perro.
I didn't know you were such a slacker.
Sí, o sea, creo porque no escucho mi audio, ¿no? O sea, no sé. O déjenme tratar de subirle al micrófono. Ay, eso no era. No. Creo que ya. Creo que sí. A ver. Ay, llegó un gato.
This was certainly an eventful end to my trip. It wouldn't have been possible without you. Or my lucky coin, of course.
¿Qué? No habría sido posible sin ti ni sin mi moneda de la suerte, por supuesto. Entonces esa moneda de la suerte es la primera vez que habla de la mentada moneda de la suerte. En ninguno de sus diálogos la menciona.
Wouldn't be much of a lucky coin if it had. Besides, I already taught you how to become attuned to it. You still need some practice to master the technique, but luckily it decided to play nice and spare us any more complications.
Tiene más peso de un lado que de otro.
A better question to ask might be, what do I do to make this coin happy to work with me and show me whichever side I wish? My answer would be that I tell the coin a joke every time I toss it into the air. If it finds my joke funny, then it cooperates with me. Of course, this whole arrangement hinges on a pre-existing amount of trust between the two of us. I can't just get any strange coins to listen to me.
Ah, ok. Sí, o sea, es una moneda falsa, es lo más seguro. Oh, pequeño incidente.
Yeah,
A ver.
I was a little surprised when he unwittingly called out our trick coin, but it didn't matter.
Pues es que sí estaba trucada, no era como que no, o sea, es que cualquiera se da cuenta.
A good gambler always keeps their options open. You have to have a contingency plan for when the odds are against you. So when I went to the counter, I marked a regular coin as well as my trick one.
Ah, ok.
That safely avoided any risk of him finding out about the trick coin. But it also meant that we wouldn't be able to control the result of that round.
Haciendo trampa, está bien. Ay, y le estoy viendo la rayita de aquí en medio, no me voy a enfocar en eso.
But hey,
no.
what does it matter? The fact that he made things a little more challenging only made it all the more exciting to watch him slowly but surely fall into our trap.
Qué bueno que no me escucharon simpiar hace rato, casi al principio, cuando vi que salió con su traje del evento. No, simpié muy feo. Qué bueno que no me vieron. Que no me escucharon, porque qué vergüenza.
Especially listening to him warn us about the possibility of a rigged coin right as we were scamming him. That was my favorite part. As long as I chose the same bet as him, and you bet the opposite to me, it was always going to end up with him paying.
Pues es que
Unless, of course, he'd had some other tricks up his sleeve that we hadn't thought of.
Pues sí, de todos modos éramos 2 contra 1. Teníamos que ganar cualquiera de los dos, así que pues no pasa nada.
Then things would have gotten really interesting.
You two are genuinely the smartest people I've ever met. I'm no intellectual, so I would never have been able to come up with a plan like this. Even when you described it to me, I only understood parts of it.
Los que engañan a otros también pueden ser engañados. Pues sí.
Well, I may not be the smartest guy around, but one thing I do know is this. One should always return tenfold the help that they've received from others.
Pues es que uno no espera hacer un favor y que te lo pague, pero bueno, cada quien.
We were just ordinary acquaintances. You had no reason to help me as much as you did.
No, pero me gusta el chisme.
If there's anything I can ever do for you in the future, anything at all, please let me know. You can always count on me. I guarantee it.
No? You seem agitated. Are you worried about owing me yet another favor? There are two kinds of people who owe me favors. One is my friends, and the other my informants.
Y yo también.
My informants have to fulfill whatever requests I make of them, no questions asked.
Sería bueno tener un informante, y más si es marino.
Kind of...
And you're torn again. Too afraid to ask to be my friend, but also daunted by the dangers inherent in becoming my informant.
De hecho.
Well, it's okay, because I just thought of a fun and easy way to get us out of this impasse. Let's do
lo va a
a
agarrar de
coin toss.
informante.
This is the regular coin I prepared for the contingency plan when I was borrowing a pen from the bar. Not the lucky one that does what I tell it to.
Gela. A ver, dejen que mis perros se vayan. Creo que ya.
If it's heads, we're friends. But if it's tails, you're at my beck and call. May the Lord of Geo decide.
Cara significa amigo. Y que significa que tendrás a mi disposición como informante. Que el Arcón Tegeo y Zhongli, ¿yo por qué?
So, was it heads or tails?
What do you think? What does your heart tell you?
I understand now. You have my most sincere gratitude. No, that's a little too...
Ay, qué bonito. Voy a llenar mi casita con las fotos. Ay, Dios, no. Estuvo demasiado larga. O sea, estuvo larguísima. No son pitbull, es una chihuahua. Y de hecho la chihuahua ya se trepó otra vez. A ver, déjenme bajarle el volumen a los personajes. Bueno, a los diálogos. Porque dicen que se escucha mucho. A ver... Ay, audio. Ah.
Paimon coming in! Paimon coming in! Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon?
Ay, me da mucha risa. Que si puedes escuchar a Paimon. Qué bonito. Ay, miren, tengo un logro. Ah.
I didn't know you were such a slacker.
A ver. Ay. No sé qué le moví. A ver. Ah, ok, qué bueno que ya se escucha mejor. Es que como casi no utilizo el micrófono rara vez, no sé. Y de hecho esos audífonos no son míos. Los que yo ocupo se los llevó mi hermana y pues así. Estos son los de mi cuñado, Es que aquí los dejó. A ver. Estuvo bien larga, no manchen. Me faltan 3, a ver. Ok, me falta ese. No, estuvo larguísima, no. Hasta me dolió la cabeza un poquito. Se tarda mucho en recorrer. A ver. A ver, vamos ahí. Otra vez a Sumeru. Ay, no sé, se van a burlar. Si me voy al abismo se van a burlar. Y me da pena. Y me voy a poner a llorar si se burlan. Porque no sé. Es que lo que quiero terminar va a hacerlo. Quiero terminar de hacer las citas porque quiero cambiar las fotos de mi tetera. Pero no sé. ¿Cuántas fotos tengo? No sé. Ah, ya sé.
What's the hurry?
No. Dejen, voy a cambiar las fotos de una vez. Ay, ahí no es. Es acá. Sirve que les enseño mi tetera. Otra vez. No he tenido chance de jugar con mis amigas ahorita porque pues todas trabajamos y no tenemos chance. Ayer quisimos jugar, pero pues nos faltaba una y pues no está chido jugar nada más entre las otras dos porque pues como que nos falta nuestra amiga Mel y pues no, así no se pone bueno el ambiente porque no podemos jotear. Y pues así. A ver. Primero.
This route.
Sí, Gordi. Ay, se bugueó. A ver. No sé cuánto le falte a Tignari para ya subir a 10.
If you ever
Déjame checar. Ay, no, todavía le falta. Ay, no. Tengo calor. A ver. También tengo conectado mi celular, casi no tiene batería. Miren, ahora sí ya la decoré bien. Ya me gustó cómo quedó. Así, ya la voy a dejar así, ya no le voy a mover ahora sí. Está bien padre, para el que se quiera meter, para que la vea. No, es que voy a cambiar los de la recámara que hice, la principal. Estos son los que voy a cambiar. Ah. No, pues está bien, buguéate, no pasa nada. Ay. Alguien que me venga a pegar, por favor. Ay. Ay, auxilio. Calla. Ay, no. ¿Qué pedo? Alguien que me venga a sacar, por favor. A ver. No. A ver. No me deja. No me deja hacer nada. No, pues ya me morí. Si me teletransporto. No, pues sí. A ver, dejen. Es que no quiero el espejismo, me voy a tardar un montón. Bueno, queda de recuerdo. Necesito mover ese sillón más para atrás entonces. Ay, no. A ver, déjenme regreso a Sumer otra vez. coraje. Y ahora me tengo que regresar a su miedo y volverme a meter a la tetera. Ay, no. Yo ya quería poner mis fotitos en el cuarto. Es que se va a ver bien padre las fotos del Kai ahí. Ay, no, se ve bien padre. Ah, y les quería enseñar un diálogo que dice, pero... Pero tengo que quitar al Heitan primero. Necesito editarla primero otra vez. A ver. Ay, miren, Lisa tiene nuevos diálogos. Me da mucha risa porque Lisa en la tetera dice que desde que nos conoce, que ya le interesan las cosas del hogar o algo así. Ay, alguien va entrando, espérenme. Y pues ya me voy. Nada más dejen pongo las... no, de aquí, del en vivo. Nada más dejen pongo las fotos y ya me voy porque... No, ya llegó mi papá y me da pena que me escuche hablar sola. No. A ver, corre. ¿Mande? ¿No tenías más ahí? A ver, déjenme mover el sillón, nada más, porque si no voy a seguir bugueando aquí. A ver... Ay, ahora no se bugueó. Ay, hijo, ¿dónde está? Ah, ahí está. Aquí está. Ahí está. Ahora sí, ya me voy. Chao.